Time now to talk politics. I'm joined by two of Talk Business and Politics regular contributors, Mr. Frank Scott and Mr. Steve Brawner. Welcome, guys. Thanks for being here. Let's begin with highways. You're Highway Commissioner, Frank. That's a good place to start, I think. You report a lot on highways, Steve. U.S. Highway 67 has many parts that are built to interstate standards. There is now a bill that's been filed to try to make it I-57. Why is interstate status so important?
It's a big deal for economic development, particularly within central Arkansas and northeast Arkansas. Now you'll be able to have a lot more, a new tool in the recruiting toolbox for central Arkansas to northeast Arkansas. And it's just a great example of regional collaboration between those two regions.
Yeah, everybody from Jonesboro, Newport, Searcy, all the way down to Little Rock were very supportive of that. I still want to know someday, Steve, we got to do a story on how they number these interstates. Where did 57 come from? That's what I want to know. Do you know?
57 comes from right now because it's going to connect to I-57, which is already established for St. Louis and Chicago, and it really has everything to do with the even and odd numbers of existing interstates going forward.
It's good to have somebody like that around, isn't it? All right, let's talk about 30 Crossing, the controversial I-30 bridge and highway project between Little Rock and North Little Rock. It goes further than that, but kind of threatening to disrupt downtown. Little Rock development has some folks screaming about too much urban sprawl, too much concrete, too many lanes, but repairs are needed. So my question to you first, Steve Brawner, is will a consensus emerge that will mollify the majority of the people complaining about this project?
I think it has emerged. The Highway Department has presented a plan, a 6-lane interstate with 2 connector distributor lanes on each side. They have done the best they can to try to mitigate the amount of concrete that's poured. They're trying to protect green space in the downtown area. Its whole purpose is really is to route traffic into the city. They present this plan. It appears to have more support, and they actually have some 3D models that show the difference of this and another alternative. And it's so obvious that the traffic would move better than an alternative. This may be it for now.
Who will it not mollify, Frank? Who's not going to be satisfied with this solution?
There are always going to be individuals and organizations that aren't going to be satisfied with any type of compromise. It's our goal to make sure that we still continue to listen to them and listen to the entire community and figure out a best solution and compromise for everyone. So right about now, we have a ton of folks who were initially against our plans, and so what we did was listen, receive their feedback, and retooled our plans to make sure that it mirrored the entire city. And so what you're seeing now is Downtown Little Rock Partnership come out in favor of it. You're starting to see now Charles Morgan, founder of Axiom, who's now in favor of it. Other organizations, Little Rock Chamber, Studio Maine, which was staunchly against it initially, and now is working with the Highway Department to make sure that it's aesthetically pleasing and for the community.
It's consensus, compromise. It'll never work. We'll never get anywhere with that kind of attitude there. I'm just kidding. Education Commissioner Johnny Key is not renewing Little Rock School District Superintendent Baker Curris's contract. He is being replaced by Michael Poore, the superintendent from Bentonville. Steve Brawner, what is good about this move? What is bad about this move?
Well, the good, or at least the stated reason, is that Baker Curris is not a school administrator by profession. He's an attorney and a businessman by profession. And Johnny Key, in making the switch, argued that Baker has done what needed to be done as far as organizational and fiscal changes that need to be made to the district. Now they have to take it up to the next level when it comes to academics. Mike Poore is a superintendent with lots of experience both in Colorado and in Bentonville, and so the thinking is that he can move the district in a positive direction academically. The negative thing is that it happened so suddenly, at a time when Baker had really done a pretty good job of bending fences, of going out to the community and showing that he cared. And there's a lot of hurt feelings, a lot of really surprise and some anger at the move.
Yeah, what do you think, Frank? Good and bad in this move?
I think at the outset, Commissioner Key is a personal friend of mine, and I definitely admire him and his work and his public service. I think he's already stated that he's apologized for the rollout of everything, and now he's kind of turned his focus to figure out a plan for the Little Rock School District. I think what's good about this and what has happened is that you have seen now the city of Little Rock unite together for a common theme, and that common theme is to figure out how the school district can come back to local control. And I think right now it's going to take the community, both the community at large as well as the business community, as well as Commissioner Key and Governor Hutchinson to all work together to figure out what that plan of action is, to figure out those next steps. Because one thing we have to make sure of, we want to make sure as we approach 2017, the 60th anniversary of the 1957 Little Rock 9, we want to make sure that we at least have a plan in place to get it back under local control.
I got a feeling we'll be talking about this a few more times on this program and many others. Frank Scott, Steve Brawner, thanks as always for being with us. We appreciate you. And thank you for tuning in. Have a busy and a productive week. I'm Roby Brock. We will see you next time.